Hi, everybody. This is Corey from Misery Loves Cookery, and I thought it might be fun to do something a little different today and answer one of the letters that I received here on a video. And then I can follow up on Thursday with any specific details that I give in the advice or in the recipe that I give. You can see right there, there's my little puppy Gracie, Grace Hopper, named after the famous computer programmer. And she's going to be hanging out with me here too. So let me pull up this letter. Now I'm going to read it out to you, and then I haven't really thought through all the advice ahead of time, so we'll just kind of come up with it as we go. So hopefully it'll go well. All right. Dear Misery Loves Cookery, I just found out that I've been called up for jury duty during the busiest week of my year. Oof, that's no fun. Technically, I can go, but I could use one of the exemptions to get out of it. Okay. I'm in charge of a big camp out for scouts the weekend following my jury duty, and I'm worried I won't get everything done. Thoughts? Ooh, okay, that's hard. Well, let's see. Obviously, if you have an exemption that you think is valid, you can use it. That's why they're there. And there are times when you might not be as busy, and doing this would not be as big of a problem. But my guess is the fact that you wrote me this letter tells me that you're questioning whether or not you should take that exemption, and you think that it might be important for you to go and serve. So I would say go with your gut and probably just go anyway. Even if your gut's saying take an exemption, maybe just do it. And here's why. I can only speak from my own experience and the anecdotal experience of talking to others, but most of the time when you get called for jury duty, I mean, sometimes you call in the night before, you don't even have to show up, and then you've fulfilled your obligation for a whole year, I think. And different places have different rules about that. Other times you get called up and you just spend a day sitting in a place where you're waiting for them to potentially call you. I know when that happened to me, I lived in Chicago and I went to some random spot in Cook County, and really the only bad part about it is that we were in a basement and there was no internet hookup and it was kind of hot. But other than that, we just sat in a room for about 6 hours, took a break for lunch, and then went home. And then our duty was done. Recently here in Florida, I got called up for jury duty and made it all the way through the voir dire process, where the attorneys ask everyone questions to determine who's going to be in the jury. And they asked questions of a whole bunch of us, and only a handful of people were called up. And I will tell you, many people were honest and said, I'm feeling very anxious about this. I don't have a lot of time right now. My daughter needs me. Work's doing something crazy. I'm going to lose income. All of those types of things. And I think those things were taken into account because the people who were chosen didn't seem to have any conflicts. So I would say just go ahead and do it. I mean, it is a really important part of our democratic system. It's important to participate in it, and I think if you get it done, you'll feel good about it. And like I said, I think you probably wouldn't have asked if you didn't think you probably should. One other thing is jumping out at me here. You're noting that you have this big camp out for scouts coming up, and you're not sure if you can get everything done. Totally get that. That's hard. I just became one of my daughter's troop leaders. Thankfully, the other troop leaders are amazing. So as I'm coming up to speed, they're doing a lot of the heavy lifting still. But yeah, that's hard whenever you have a volunteer thing and the weight is on your shoulders. So I would say this is a great opportunity to ask for some help. It could get other people engaged, other parents engaged. If you have a spouse, get your spouse engaged to help. Asking for help is one of the hardest things, and I can't promise you that everyone will step up, but I think that it's important to make the ask, especially if it's something that you don't do all the time. It's important to say, hey, I've got stuff going on. I'm busy with work, home, etc., and now I have jury duty. Could someone please help me out getting ready for this camp out? Or even just assign tasks, put up a sign-up list ahead of time and see who can do what if you're not already doing something like that. So, okay, in terms of recipes, I'm trying to think of something you can bring with you into jury duty. And I think the classic chocolate chip cookie is a good call. It's going to hold up no matter what. It shouldn't get too yucky unless the room's 1,000 degrees. And here's what I'm going to suggest to make it special for jury duty. Uh, Instead of just making regular chocolate chip cookies, if you're like me, you might like dark chocolate. You might not. If you don't, use whatever chocolate you like. But I would say use bittersweet chocolate because it's bittersweet to be called into jury duty when you're busy, and it's delicious. And add some chopped up uh, candied ginger. Okay, sweet, delicious, tangy. It's got a little bit of chew. And with the ginger and the bittersweet chocolate, it's going to have this wonderful zing and lovely flavor. And you can really enjoy that throughout your time waiting for jury duty to get called up. And the great thing about ginger is it bites you back. It bites you when you're not expecting it, just like jury duty. So on Thursday, I will post our family's favorite chocolate chip cookie recipe. I'll give you a little spoiler: browned butter. That's one of the keys. But you can obviously use any chocolate chip cookie recipe that you really love. Just think about swapping out that chocolate for bittersweet and adding some of that chopped candied ginger. I hope this meets you where you need it to. I hope it answers your question. Thank you so much for writing in. And I'll see you at Misery Loves Cookery. Take care.